Hey, what's up guys? It's Rubin. Do you ever feel really panicked inside or easily startled when somebody asks you a question? Now in this video, I want to give you a couple of tips that you can use in your daily life that'll help you overcome that feeling. So this is me being brave, guys. It's allergy season. I got crazy allergies going on, and it's yeah, I'm out here in the park, so let's see how this goes. So I worked in the IT industry, software industry for 10 years. And I remember at one of my jobs, there was a gym downstairs, right? So I would go downstairs and I would be just on my lunch break, I would be going to the gym. I remember if I ran into somebody or somebody asked me a question like, hey, Ruben, where are you going? Just curious, just an innocent question. I would get this intense panic and I would feel like I was doing something wrong, and I would have to respond like, oh, I'm just going to the gym and it's my lunch break, so it's okay. So I would overly explain myself, and it was just this feeling. I remember walking away. Every time I responded like that, I would walk away and be like, I didn't even do anything wrong. Like, I don't know why I feel like I'm doing something wrong when somebody asks me a question. And it could be little things, right? Like going into the elevator, right? I remember going into the elevator, and there would be a bunch of people in the elevator. I walk into the elevator and I would already be like, pretty nervous, right? It's a group of people in there. It's a closed off space, and it would be little things like pushing my floor. I would do it ever so gently to push the button, just because I felt like people were gonna get mad at me if I was moving too fast or just being who I was, right? So it was this constant feeling of, I'm gonna get in trouble, right? Like there's something wrong, I'm gonna get in trouble. And so what I wanted to talk about today was how you can start to overcome this, right? So what I came up with, I call this the 2-second rule, okay? And what you can start doing is when somebody asks you a question, is don't answer the question right away. So give yourself at least 2 seconds before you answer the question. Instead of answering the question right away, what you can do is take a breath. Take a deep conscious breath and connect with your body, okay? So what that does is it gives you permission to not answer the question. You don't have to answer the question. And it's a subtle message to yourself that other people don't have to have power over you, right? It's a power thing. And the best way to love yourself is to take a conscious deep breath. It's not saying I love myself in the mirror. It's not saying I am confident. It's taking a deep, deep conscious breath and reconnecting with your body and what you're experiencing inside. Now, why does that feeling come about? Why does that feeling that you're doing something wrong, or that that panicked feeling, why is that there? So these body sensations, or this just deep sense of feeling like that, they can happen for a number of reasons, right? So if you had critical parents growing up, that's that's an environment that can stay in your body. That messaging that you got when you were young, it can really resonate deep in your body as you get older. Or let's say traumatic experiences, maybe you were bullied or something like that. So, all of these types of things can really impact a person. And when you go ahead and up here intellectually, when you say like, you're over it, it doesn't affect you anymore, the truth is really in your body. And so going back to the experiences, right? Like the traumatic experience, or like the bullying, or the having that critical type of childhood. When that type of thing happens, or you've had those experiences, what can happen is you could be overly compliant with people. So you can feel like when somebody asks you a question, you have to answer, you have to cooperate, you have to comply. And essentially what happens with that messaging that you received earlier is you completely lose your power. And so that's the purpose of the breath. The breath gives you your power back. So obviously you got to be a little bit careful, right? The context is everything. If it's a work situation, you eventually have to answer, right? But or if it's a more social type of setting, it's going to depend on which context you're in. But regardless of the context, you can take that 2 seconds. And the important thing is when you do that, you send a subtle message to yourself. This is the unconscious thing, right? You send a subtle message to yourself that you matter, you have worth. People don't control you. People don't have power over you. You control yourself, and you control your own responses. So I encourage you for the next little while, days, weeks, whatever, don't answer any questions until you take 2 seconds for yourself and take a breath. Okay, and so what you can do is, if I could show you guys anything for recovery, for recovery from this. Oh man, there's a black cat there. Yikes. Actually, it's not all black. Okay, so if I could teach you anything, it would be breath work and going into your body sensations, and it would be journaling, body sensing and journaling. And so what you can do is you can get out your journal and then every day just write out the questions people asked you, right? Write out the questions people asked you and then get a sense of why the questions were really triggering. And then from there, you can start sensing of how you can respond better. And that'll take down that panic, that'll take down that startled response, and that'll start to make you feel like you have more control over how you respond to people and different things and different questions and different interactions. So yeah, I highly suggest implementing that in your daily life right away. It'll give you your power back and you'll feel like you're in control again. So if you found this video helpful, what you can do is join my private Facebook group. I'll put a link below the video. You can learn more tips just like this and get the help that you need in there. Also, you can download my free report. I'll also link that below the video. It goes into depth about my story, so you can learn all about me, my struggle with social anxiety, and it'll give you the things that you need to unlock to finally put that behind you for good. All right, so I hope this video was helpful, guys, and I will talk to you soon. All right, peace, guys.